What's up, y'all? I'm out here on the range, as you can see, on a cloudy, swampy old day. I was doing some jelly testing earlier, but this sky looking like it's getting ready to get me wet, so I figured I'd better take a second and check out this new Bodyguard 2.0. So far, so good. All right, y'all, let's take us a quick look at this little thing and then I'll load it up and have some more fun. So again, what you're looking at here is the new Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. This is their newest entry into the micro 380 market, or pocket carry if you want to call it a pocket carry. Obviously successor to the original Bodyguard, but this is more of a competition to the LCP Max. So again, micro size carry or pocket carry if you will. This thing's got a really nice capacity on it like the LCP Max, 10+1 with this flush mag, or 12+1 with the other one that they give you. It's also very, very light. This thing is under 10 ounces. I believe they call it 9.8 ounces to be specific. So incredibly, incredibly light and very, very small. Size-wise, I'm sure that's going to be most people's main concern, especially against this LCP Max right here. I can tell you there are some differences in sizes, but anywhere there's a difference, you're talking about 1/8 of an inch to, at max, 1/4 of an inch. The 1/4 of an inch on the full length is the biggest difference in size between these. The rest of them, like width, you're talking 0.88 on this, 0.81 on this, so 7/100ths of an inch. Very, very little difference anywhere besides the length. The overall length on this Bodyguard 2.0 is 5.5 inches. According to the specs on this LCP Max, is 5.17 inches. So you're looking at roughly 1/4 of an inch difference between them, and I can tell you where that's all at. If you line them up here, I'll show you. Hopefully you'll be able to see it in the camera. If I line them up right there, barrel to barrel, what you're gonna see here is the difference is the way the back of the LCP Max is angled up like that. If you went straight, that's what this Bodyguard 2.0 is. So it's really, it's almost not longer until you add this little beaver tail. So if you straighten this LCP Max off and added that little beaver tail, you're looking at virtually the same length. Now, as far as width, again, it's saying 0.88 on this 2.0 Bodyguard and 0.81 on the LCP Max. But I can tell you just from feeling it, I mean, it feels like this this Bodyguard 2 is actually a little slimmer in feel and holding and everything than the LCP Max is. You can look at it from the back there, and it may be partly because the LCP Max feels like you're holding a piece of dimensional lumber in your hand. I mean, the ergonomics are horrible on it. It's squared off, so that may be why this nice rounded ergonomic grip on the Bodyguard feels slimmer. Barrel lengths on them pretty much identical, 2.75 here, 2.8 here. Overall height is virtually identical. The Bodyguard 2.0 is saying 4-inch height. The LCP Max is actually saying 4.12, so it's actually a little bit taller, the LCP Max, and you can tell, you can just see from the grip down there. And then again, weight, like I mentioned, this 2.0 is 9.8 ounces. This LCP Max is saying 10.6 ounces, so this 2.0 Bodyguard is actually a little bit lighter. One more difference in the barrel I wanted to mention too, they got different twist rates on them. This Bodyguard 2.0 is a 1 in 10 twist. This LCP Max is a 1 in 16 twist. So as far as comparing these two, which is I know going to be what most people are looking to do, because this has been the hotness for the Pocket 380. This right here, I'm telling you, blows this out of the water. As far as quality, ergonomics, feel, I mean, it's not even close, y'all. It's not even close. And now, I'll tell you right now, y'all know I'm not a fan of this thing at all. And there's absolute reasons why I'm not a fan of this. And this right here totally takes care of all the reasons that I do not like this thing. But as far as pocketability, which is I know most people's concern, if you can stick this chunky thing in your pocket, you can absolutely put this one in it. Now, as far as comparing this to the original Bodyguard, again, there's no contest. It's night and day difference, because that Bodyguard is arguably worse in ergonomics and all than this LCP Max. So now, as far as size, the Bodyguard does have it. It is a little bit smaller because that Bodyguard's tiny, but it's not going to be noticeable. If you can still shove this in your pocket, which is the same thing you're doing with that Bodyguard, I'm telling you right now, this is 1,000 times the tool that original Bodyguard or this LCP Max is. And I'm gonna pick on this LCP Max one time and then we'll just go over this Bodyguard. There's the LCP Max. It sounds like I'm getting ready to play some maracas. Here's the Bodyguard 2.0. This LCP Max is literally just cheap junk compared to this. So let me run through the last few things on this. I guess I pretty much went over most stuff. Again, 2.75-inch barrel stainless steel slide with their Armor Night finish. Very, very nice finish on these things. In comparison with the LCP Max, those have absolutely atrocious finishes. I can show you right now, brand new in the case, that they have rust on the things, rust up under the finish. Finish on this, night and day difference. It's not even close. Way nicer finish, way nicer build quality, way nicer fit and finish in general. Ergonomics, again, it's not even close. It's not even close. Again, that LCP Max is holding a piece of dimensional lumber. This is nice ergonomic grip, very nice 18-degree grip angle on this thing. This thing is really, really nice in your hand. Really nice texturing all around. You got some texture pads up here and on your little takedown lever right there. You got a nice set of sights on it, but now so did the LCP Max. You got the tritium front here, a really nice big orange dot with the clear tritium in the middle of it, and then a nice blacked out U on the back. Now, like I mentioned, as far as mags, you get the flush fit 10 rounder here and this 12 rounder here that's got a little bit longer base. And I mean, you're talking about absolute full grip with this 12 rounder, but even this 10 rounder, surprisingly, and I've got some very large hands, y'all, I'm telling you right now, surprisingly, you can see I do hang off the bottom just a little bit, but not near as much as some. And then I think the last thing I want to talk about is the trigger on it and a couple little things that I find a little weirdish about it. This trigger is one of the main things that make this in a completely different league from the LCP Max or the original Bodyguard. This is a striker fired where the other two are hammer fired. This is an incredibly nice, light, clean braking trigger. You got a little bit of take up and then boom, right there on it. As far as the reset, nice audible reset, a little bit of take up, you're right back on the wall, and nice clean brake. I'm telling you right now, it is night and day difference. I can't even describe how much nicer the trigger on this Bodyguard is than this LCP Max or the original Bodyguard. This thing right here was atrocious out of the box as far as the trigger. After about 200 bucks, it's as good as this one. Now, like I mentioned, there's a couple little things that's kind of weird to me and that I don't really like all that much. It doesn't bother me like nothing as far as function and nothing that would turn me completely off. But if you look at this little trigger safety here, it's not your typical like blade splitting the trigger. It's actually flat all the way across the face there, and it's incredibly thin polymer. I mean, you can probably see it. You can flex it. I mean, you can flex that just with your finger. Now, am I saying that's gonna break? I mean, that's not what I'm saying. I would hope that they put this thing through repetitive use testing and all, but that right there definitely seems like a snag point or a failure point where you could get that thing snagged on something and just snap it off if you were pulling this thing out hard enough. And then the other thing that I just think is kind of weird from an aesthetic standpoint is the way they stopped this frame a little bit short of the lug down here. I don't know why they did that. I mean, I guess some people are probably going to say, oh, for snag-free purposes. No way. I mean, they left it like that's less than 1/4 of an inch. To me, it just looks weird. Again, it's nothing that's going to affect function in any way, but I just think that looks a little weird. But other than those two little minor things so far, I think this is going to be an incredible little tool right here. So far with that first magazine, it ran absolutely perfect. So let's go over there and run some more mags through it and see if it holds up. All right, let's see if I can find out where I'm impacting with this thing. I've got another magazine, a 10 loaded up. This time it's 100 grain Ammo Inc. TMC. So I'm gonna put 5 right here at the 10, and then I'm gonna put 5 at the 25. Just to kind of see where I got a hold. It is a swamp out here, y'all. Whew. I pulled that. I don't know, I done lost count. I'm actually happy with that right there. They're all in the circle except one I pulled a little bit low. Let's see if I can get some on the 25. I don't know how many I even got left. I can't tell if I got that or not. No. There we go. Okay, I see where I'm at. No. There we go. 2 of them at the 25. Let me go see where I'm hitting out there. All right, that little 10-yard string ain't looking too terrible. It's probably a couple 3-inch group right there in the center. So looks like they are a little bit left, all of them knows. That could just be me. I ain't gonna mess with these sights right now. I'm gonna send another, I got 5 more of these 100 grain TMC Ammo Inc. I'm gonna send them back out there at the 25 just to see if I can land a few more out there. Very bottom. 5 for 5 at 25 with that. Let me tell you something. There's no way I could have pulled that off that first outing with that LCP Max. All right, let's get back up here closer and see if we can make us a mess with a couple of bottles and a can of shaving cream. I've got 2 different rounds in here. One Winchester silver tip I'm gonna hit one of the bottles with, and then I've got some Defiant Munitions 80 grain TCX I'm gonna hit the other bottle and the shaving cream with. If I can hit that shaving cream, or the bottles for that matter. I got him, but it wasn't too exciting. I popped the top off the thing. I think that's about all we're gonna get out of that shaving cream. That sure wasn't as eventful as I was hoping it would be. I actually got a nice clean hit on that shaving cream on that second one, but just wasn't much to it. So this time I got a handful of 80 grain Barnes TAC-X PD loaded up to solid copper expander. So let's see what we can do with these. I think I smacked that a little low. I gotta get me a couple more rounds. All right, let's try to finish that one off. I don't know if y'all noticed I had a boom boom on there that didn't go off too, so see if we can take care of that. There we go. All right, y'all, I believe I've had all I wanted this old humid, swampy weather out here today, so let's try to end it off with one last fancy trifecta here. I'll take that one. All right, y'all, I'm definitely happy with the results out of this little Bodyguard 2.0 so far, so I'm gonna call it right there for the first outing with it. What is there to complain about when the thing runs perfect like this out here? It ran every single round absolutely perfect, no malfunction at all. Probably 4 or 5 different kinds of ammo, something like that, from light stuff to standard weight type 380 stuff, and ate every bit of it absolutely flawless. Not that I'm really the slightest bit surprised about that, because, you know, I've got those EZs, I've got 3, 4 of those, I think it is, counting the one my wife's got, and this feels like a little mini Shield, a little mini Shield, EZ, Shield, whichever one. That's exactly what this feels like. Incredibly nice feeling in your hands. The ergonomics of this thing, I just cannot say enough about how nice feeling this is in your hand. So I knew already after just picking this thing up and holding it a little bit, as long as it ran good out here and it ran absolutely perfect, this is going to be the next new pocket carry king. Like I said at the start of this, the fit and finish and just overall quality feel of this is just in a whole nother league from those other little pocket carries. Now, with all that being said, will I personally be carrying this in my pocket more than the LCP Max? Absolutely not. I don't carry the LCP Max in my pocket at all, and I won't carry this in my pocket at all. I mean, 99.99% chance I will never carry this in my pocket. I wear a belt with my shorts. I wear a belt everywhere I go. If I'm out in the yard cutting the grass, I'm wearing a belt. Everywhere I go, I'm wearing a belt, other than just lounging around the house. house in a pair of jogging shorts. So I have really no need for anything I can shove in my pocket that I can't just wear on my hip on a belt. But I can tell you with absolute 100% certainty, if I was gonna have a pocket carry, it would definitely be this. But let me know what y'all think about this little Bodyguard 2.0 down in the comments. Do any of y'all out there have the original Bodyguard or the LCP Max or one of the original LCP Maxes? How do you like those? Do you carry that much? Are you considering getting something like this to carry more as far as pocket carry? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you reach down and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you've got your notifications turned on so you get notified when I upload stuff. Take a second, like I always remind you, and check out those links in the video description. Anything you get after hitting up those links, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really do appreciate that. Once again, a big thanks to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I've got more really good stuff on the way, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.